When I first started working, it was in 1990 for the New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets. And when I started my job, I really had no idea what this job entailed, quite honestly. And I was, we just did all of these inspections. And then I didn't think I'd make it through the first year, really and truly. Never imagined that I would survive the first year of the job. So as the year progressed and I was doing all of these inspections, and I did get a little burned out, thinking like, I just spent 4 years in college trying to get through the biology degree. I'm like, wow, I don't think I can do this. So then, fortunately, I had an amazing leader that worked in the Department of Agriculture who shortly became the director. So that's Joe Corby. Everyone knows Joe Corby. I am ever grateful for him, because there were times when I would go to him and explain to him that, what can I do to become better in my job, get more involved, meet more people. So I did ask him if I should join a particular food association. And he looked at me like I was somewhere else. He's like, what do you mean you can't join that association? I'm like, what? He said, you need to join AFDO. So I really can't remember the year, but I started in 1990, so I would say probably like 1992 or 3. He said, you have to join AFDO, Angela. I'm like, okay, I'll join AFDO. So I did. I went home, I found the link, I signed up, and I don't know, couldn't have been a link, right? Because that was probably no internet back then. So I did join AFDO, and then I didn't even know, but he also signed me up for AFDO. So we both paid for the memberships for that same year. So he told me, I signed you up. I'm like, oh, I signed up too. So, but that's when I started, and it has just been this tremendous journey for me to get to this point, because it's a really long time when you think about it now. So I have been working it will be 34 years in September for the same agency. When I joined AFDO, things popped up. So I don't know how I was asked to join a committee. So I joined a committee. It was called the Media and Public Affairs. I had no idea what I was doing, but I was a co-chair then for the committee. And they said, oh, if the press comes to the conference, you need to meet them. I was so nervous. I was thinking to myself, like, I'm a food person. I'm not even a food person. I'm really learning to be a food person. I'm a biology person. Fortunately, like, not a lot of press people did come to the conference, but we had to be ready for that. But there were times, there was one time they did come and everybody was in because FDA is coming. And so it was interesting for me. But that's how I really got very involved with AFDO. Then I became the co-chair, and then I became the chair of this committee, and I just worked diligently at whatever the charges were within the committee. And then I did that for quite a few years, and a new committee popped up, the administration committee, and then they kind of sunsetted the Media and Public Affairs committee. So then when the administration committee happened, it was kind of similar, but it was a little bit different with organizing memberships and the awards. I was putting all that information, press releases. I wrote all these press releases. And then they broke the food committee up into retail and food. So then I became a co-chair for the retail committee. It was really, really fun, because one of the tasks was to create a 2-hour committee meeting during the annual conference. So I had so much fun doing that, like organizing that event. So getting speakers, who we needed, updates from FDA, USDA, CFP. And then I did complete the IFPTI fellowship in 2010 to 11. And during that time frame, 2 of us were asked to be junior board members for AFDO based on the IFPTI fellowship. They chose 2 of us, and I was one of them. So that I was like, wow, this is awesome. Finally, I get to sit on the board. We went to the meeting in the fall in Washington, D.C., and then we went to maybe the spring meeting. So I had a taste of the AFDO board. And then a couple of years later, I was called on the phone. I was so excited. I got a phone call from Steve Morris. He said, would you like to join the AFDO board membership as a director at large. And I'm like, oh, you're kidding, really? So I was beyond thrilled. Like I've been really, people don't realize it, but it's a real career enhancement to be on the board. It's amazing to be involved with AFDO at any level whatsoever, but to be asked to join the board to me, it's a very big accomplishment. So that's what happened. I joined the board, and then I stayed there for a few years, and then I popped to the secretary for a little bit, and then I was asked to join the executive board. At the level that I was at as an inspector level, it made me think actually this week that I think I need to take this on as a charge for myself within this year, is to express the importance of getting people here that are not even supervisors. Because I came here as an inspector, but I really think it comes from within. The inspector has to want to get involved. They have to want to network. They have to want to learn and enhance their own knowledge and career. Because if you don't want to go, you don't want them to just come here. But I do think that it's super important to get inspector levels here. Was it my goal? It was my goal. But should it be everyone's goal? Maybe not. We don't all have the same goals. But I do think that the inspector level should be thoroughly engaged at the level, and then they can take it for wherever they want to or whatever they want. But the connection that you get by coming to an AFDO conference is invaluable. And fortunately, AFDO has created the Inspector Boot Camp. So that has definitely engaged other people and that are not on the board. They are not on committees. They're just attending these trainings, which is amazing because I invited a supervisor from the Department of Agriculture for food safety to come to this conference this year. And he was just talking to Autumn Shuck, who does the boot camp. And because he worked with her for the boot camp. So it's a great experience for anyone to get involved at any level that you can. So now they know each other so well, which is key. That's the whole point of networking. So when he has a question, he calls Autumn up. I do not think that would have happened, that conversation, because, first of all, there's nothing like face-to-face. This is a new virtual world, but not Autumn and John. We are not that world. We're the different world that we're so used to. So John just said, like, oh, it's so nice to meet you in person. And she's like, yeah, it definitely was. And we'll continue working together. Anything I need that we need help with, I'll absolutely reach out to you. So I truly think getting here is an invaluable opportunity. Part of that boot camp is serving people that cannot attend the conference. So anything that AFDO can do would be training, or maybe they even have like a virtual networking. Why not? Let's just have I hate to use the words happy hour, but a happy hour. Or something fun, something light. So it's a lunch half an hour. That's it. So maybe some of the committee members, the committee chairs, AFDO staff, they create a virtual anything, just to get some video time together. I think the AFDO has so many materials, guidance documents, that maybe they can just have a webinar of, we can capture the people that don't come to the conference, have a webinar of, this is what we actually have for guidance materials. They do that for the courses that they have offered. And that, again, no, that's a traveling situation and a financial situation. But we could do that too, have guidance documents placed up, and this is the resource. This is where it is. Maybe navigate through the website, let them see where these are. Pop it up, show a few pages. So I kind of have two priorities. One of the priorities is getting more regulatory to the conference. I know it's a challenge. I get it, especially with next year's budget, and keep hearing the word budget. But I was thinking is that maybe we can do something like we've been discussing to get more people here. So offer something that is tangible that they can take home with them. Maybe a certificate, something, maybe a credential again, have the exam here, and that will get more people here that aren't on the board, but they're just here to learn. And I know people don't like to hear the word networking because they don't, you just can't go there and network. You have to take something back with you, but it's an amazing opportunity to network. And it's incredible. So that's one of my goals, to try to get more people here to attend the conference next year of regulatory nature. And the other one is, that training is a constant evolution. Well, it's been an evolutionary process for about 15 years, sincerely. And I have been working on this myself because I was on the PFP, the Partnership for Food Protection Training Work Group, since it started, like a long time ago, 14 or 15 years ago. So that NCS, National Curriculum Standard, the MAP, all of this has been discussed, and now it's all coming together. And I really want to make sure that we are going in the right direction and we have a lot of input from many stakeholders, including the regulatory atmosphere that is out there, that are actually doing the job. Yes, they have been involved working on all of the competencies to ensure that they're up to date and validating them. But I still want that level of regulatory inspectors, the boots on the ground, so they say, people really involved with the process going forward, because we do have people that have 20 years experience and they might not understand the new RLTS, Regulatory Lab Training System. So because we're in this all the time and hearing it and talking it, we're comfortable with it. But to get that word out there and have everyone informed at all levels, I think is really important. So those are my two goals this year. Because they don't come to these conferences, and I know it's like, what can we do outside of the conference? But this is where you learn about these. And I mean, fortunately, AFDO has affiliate meetings, right? So, but that's another financial situation. There were years when we could send 10 people to AFDO, 10 people to the CASA conference, but then there are years we can send one person to the conference. And that's what really makes us struggle, because they don't hear that NCS every single meeting where it gets like drilled into your head. You can easily just hear it and know what it is. And for me to regurgitate that information to them, it's hard because it's a one-shot deal. But we hear it for years and years and years, but it's the same circle. So how do we get, and that's part of my goal, how do we get these other people involved with what is going on at a different level? That's really what a big goal of mine is. I would tell them that $50 is really a very small fee to join. And maybe for some it's challenging. I understand that. But there's just so much that AFDO has to offer, because there's a ton of training. I mean, there's just an unbelievable amount. With the Inspector Boot Camp, it really has opened it up. It's tremendous. I just heard them saying there were over 500 people on one of the last presentations on recalls. I think it was my staff had participated as a presenter on recalls, and there were over 500 people. So there's an opportunity right there. So you don't even have to be a member for that, but there's training availability. There are tons of guidance materials that just help you. You will meet so many people. You just pick up the phone and call anyone that you need help from. People share materials all the time. Just last week, I called Catherine Simon, our past president, asking her something about, I don't even remember what the document was. And she's like, oh yeah, no problem. Help me with that. And it's just so helpful. And it helps you realize that that's okay to share what you have. It's okay. I mean, we want everyone to succeed. By being a member, it elevates you, and then you bring that back to your agency, and then you elevate your agency with all kinds of knowledge and information. And you really do have countless help at your fingertips, anyone throughout the country. Like you, to me, it's just a no-brainer, but I don't really know why people don't join AFDO. It just might be because they really don't know. I joined a committee the first time I ever came to the AFDO conference. I chose committees that were in line with what I was doing, not the media and public affairs. I forgot, I did join the seafood committee. That was the first one I joined because I was conducting a ton of seafood HACCP inspections. Like, that's all I did. And I said to Joe Corby, I'm like, oh, what should I do? What should I join? He's like, join the seafood committee. He was on it. Oh, okay, that's a good one. That was incredible because I actually saw the changes that were being made to the guidance documents, to the book that guides HACCP today. Suggestions were made. So it makes you feel that you have a part in making the decisions going forward. And then you get to see the final product of what you actually worked on. So you have a little bit of ownership in some of the work that's being done. So I have experience in joining these committees. So I always boast. I just told, again, my coworker, you really should join a committee. You may not come every year, but if you join the committee, you keep that constant contact with the AFDO staff and then with the committee members. You meet members also, not just the committee chairs. Then you become a chair. But I also think that that is what helps someone get to a conference. We're discussing that you don't have to go to a conference to be involved with AFDO. I completely agree. I'm a face-to-face person, so I enjoy that. I enjoy sitting there, talking at the table with my colleagues and explaining and understanding a lot better. The way the committees are now, I was actually going to suggest as well this evening during our meeting that we should possibly create additional committees. So we used to have a lot more, and they kind of dwindled a little bit to focus a little bit more on certain entities and program processes. And then the AFDO staff does a lot of that work, like the media and public affairs. But I think that if we do create some of that, it gives more opportunity for other people to join us. I strongly suggest that you reach out to me, but I am not the only person that you can reach out to. AFDO has a very large staff that is always willing to assist. I mean, actually, AFDO staff is amazing. You just send one email and you'll get a response in moments. So you can reach out to anyone on the board or any one of the members also. They will always direct you in the right spot to reach out to have your questions answered. Or if you think that there's something that AFDO is not working with, you can always share that. And we're more than willing to have that opportunity to work on something different, something new, something that's innovative that possibly hasn't been addressed yet.